You were on the other side.
The other side? No, stop!
Watson, Watson, do something. Please, Watson.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Hello guys, and welcome back to some more Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. And I don't know why I'm in this room. They just spawned out here when I loaded in, essentially. I am still this doesn't fit. Oh, apparently that fits together. Okay, I thought I didn't have connections there, but apparently that works. Albus is not very good at botany. It is doubtful that he could have learned how to... Yeah, exactly. But one thing that is confusing me a bit is... she definitely knows how to do this. But the thing is, when I enable this, right? Then this starts to not work anymore. So there's something that's conflicting with these two. Like, Hamish could have had the opportunity, but White has the knowledge. So I'm very confused about that. But I don't think it's Albert, because, I mean, there are multiple reasons for that, but the most obvious one is, why would he bring up that his dad died when no one asked questions except him? Like, he's the only one who really tried to look into the death of his dad. So, yeah, I mean, that's the only thing there. So I don't think he's the reason why. And, like, she's the only one I think has a real, like, extreme circumstance. Because Hamish has worked here for years and years. He really just likes this place. He's just very grumpy about it. And White, she's the only one that's a big question mark, because we don't know who she really is. We just know that she's smart. She graduated and she owes a lot of money. And the guy was threatening to take her money away, so I do think she did it. Like, overall, I think she did it. But Hamish also could have done it, though. It's just, why did he do it now? There is no actual, like, evidence that he has any reason to do it now. So, I think she did it. But I don't know what fits that. It's like, nothing fits if I do this way. How did I get hers before? Because I got hers to show up before as well. But I don't remember how. No, I don't. Sect stole everything. No, they didn't. I don't think so. His motive. Sect is not involved. I don't think so. But then why does hers show up though? Okay, let's go to Scotland Yard. Watson asked me to do that before. Like, as soon as you load it in. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can figure out essentially what I missed. If I missed something. Because I need to figure out the rest by talking to them. And the only place to do that is Scotland Yard, I suppose. So that's where we're going. But I won't accuse Hamish. He's like, again, I don't want to accuse him and say that he's the one who did it.
Locked.
Oh yeah, wasn't the body we needed to take a look at or something? Oh, it was Lestrade. Okay,
Inspector,
I see.
I believe that Martin Hamish.
What? No, I didn't
guilty
say
of the
that.
Murder of Montague.
I didn't say that.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
Well, I didn't say that. That's not my conclusion. You believe that he is the murderer. I believe White is the murderer. Can I redo? Is that possible? I really don't think he's the murderer. White was the one I suspected the most.
I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
I don't think he's the culprit. He had a... But I don't know how else to do this, because... Yeah, I mean, before I made hers connect, and I don't know how I did that. Was it this one? They stole everything. Is that how I made hers connect? No. had the opportunity to stimulate the deadly plants. As a biologist, he would have understood the technical how to do that. Yeah, but I still don't think he did it. Fine, let me talk to him then and see what happens. How did I get worse than before? Well, maybe he did indeed do it. You said he was in the large greenhouse. When you say that, you're talking about the other one, right? I just don't see why he would do it. He's the only one out of all of them that has no real motive. Except he wants to own the place, but like, he could have done this ages ago if he wanted to.
Dry.
Am I in the right spot? Did I go wrong again? I took the long way again, didn't I? Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. He's not here. They said he was in the large greenhouse. I don't... Here, then?
Holmes, my God!
Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
What? He's dead? But I didn't even suspect him to be the actual culprit anyway. Life has become a living. I find it unbearable. Dunn deserved to die, but I cannot forgive myself for having his blood upon my hands. We Hamishes seem to have always fallen victim to our circumstance, and I find myself to be no one exception. I must atone, and I shall do so here and now. Farewell.
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Okay.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
So did he or didn't he do it? Now I'm just very confused. Clubfoot, his confession. Hamish acted alone. Martin Hamish was unable to run due to his... therefore, we should find out if he had sufficient time to lock the door and activate the ventilation system, or did he have an accomplice? What? Talk to Lestrade. This case is getting way more complicated than I thought it was gonna, because I didn't think he did it, but now everything is a bit more confusing. Why?
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
The map at...
Let us
Okay.
analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Oh boy. Okay. So Albert was in the house. I don't remember anything. So Martin Hamish had a... went to meet Albert at Albert was in the seed house the entire morning. Is this connected to that one, or is it just coincidence that I'm reading this? He was poisoned, and that happened 9:40. Miss White joins Hamish and Albert in the greenhouse. Is in the dry tropics room. I don't remember the times. I really don't. So I don't really. Albert meets in the seed house. Dunn and Hamish go out into the backyard. I don't remember at all. He's talking with in the laboratory. Hamish returns to the seed house. Oh, I think this is what I need to do. So I need to do it in this order. So Albert was in the seed house the entire morning. He observed Hamish returning from visiting Miss White at 10 minutes past. Okay, so he was always in the seed house. Don't know the times. They don't have times, so I can't actually do this. I can't do this. I don't remember. I don't have time for that. So it's
Perfect,
just
Watson.
there we go.
Now, let us
Happy I
ascertain
could skip.
who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
It was Miss White. Clearly Miss White. White's timeline and his timeline. White had time. Miss White had 20 minutes. It would have been enough to trap Montague Dunn. She could have locked the door and alerted. Yeah, because she has the key. Albert also has the key. So that's also a possibility. Albert's timeline, Hamish's timeline. Albert's timeline and his timeline. I mean, he could... I don't think he did it. It's unlikely that he would have had the opportunity, and 10 minutes would not have been enough. I don't think 10 minutes is enough. So I'm also gonna say that she doesn't have the knowledge, even though I believe she does. Like, I strongly believe she does indeed have the knowledge. But sure, let's just assume that she doesn't, right? White is an accomplice. But why would he kill? Like, that's very confusing. Why would he kill anyone? Because he's been there for ages. Why now? Is that all? Do I have to talk to someone? No, am I good? Find the use. The phonograph cylinder recorded by Miss White on the day of the crime. I didn't use it? I thought I used it. I'm pretty sure I used that one.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us.
Okay, am I done with that one now? Because I already did that one. I remember doing it. Yeah, so that doesn't... Alright. Okay, so that means that she was the accomplice then, I suppose. She's a dangerous woman, very capable of carrying out the elaborate murder for the monetary gain. She flirted with Dunn's son, Albert, and later pushed Martin Hamish to a suicide. She deserves the rope. She's a desperate woman in debt, resigned to consortium but with a wealthy gentleman. When Dunn cast her... No, she clearly knew what she was doing. She's clearly guilty. Well, let's see how this goes. I could be very wrong, and she was just the only one who was supposed to be punished. But, oh well.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
She liked the name.
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
I have no
Nothing
idea.
spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Holmes, Sherlock Holmes, the Sherlock Holmes, scared of women? Oh boy.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
Watson, Watson, do something. Please, Watson.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Come on, Miss
Please
White.
remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Okay, okay.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
No, no, come on, listen to me now. And we got her.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Conclusion, White is an accomplice. Miss White is a dangerous woman, very capable of carrying out... Yeah. So was it correct? It was correct. Okay. Alright. I was worried there for a bit. Alright, impartial? What do you mean impartial? I was clearly partial. I didn't like Miss White. She was very rude. At least she felt very rude. She felt like she would kill me if she had the chance.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson,
We have. Where to?
to the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
I can hear them on the stairs now.
Well, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget about the dinner. Wiggins,
I
I'll
so
take
look
the
forward
case.
to Redhead.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
And here I was looking forward to the dinner. Let's go ahead and talk to him first to hear his perspective of things, and then after that we'll see what happens. Mr. Holmes? Yes, kiddo, I'm here to support you in any way I can.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Okay, I shall investigate the belongings then. What about the morgue? Do we have the morgue I can take a look at? Or are we just gonna ignore that? No one there? Okay, cool. That seems like it seems very worn.
So
Maybe
this
fake?
is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver. A
Reliable.
weapon.
Okay.
It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
Can we see how many bullets are in the gun? Because that could kind of support him if there are no missing bullets. Oh, there are 2. Oh boy.
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
Oh, that's not very good for him.
Watch. Bought with his own money, no doubt.
Is that an apple?
These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting.
I would say that's very interesting. Because it means he's probably selling them on the street, which the police can probably also use against him. Where is he? Can I speak with him?
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
I must speak with you, suspect.
Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Alright, okay, let's take a look. You have a big scar on your face, and that must be in the past, because it's not bleeding. Occasional fights, screw up in the street. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. What about... I can't look at your eye? That's a bit weird. Oh, you resisted arrest. You're pretty hot-headed. Okay, I mean, that's good to know. Fancy scarf, okay. There's one more thing. Oh, okay, great. You went to prison. Oh, that's not a good look for you, buddy. What about your story?
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work, and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw 2 men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head, and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead, and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
Okay, interesting.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Oh, so you took the gun.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man.
It could have been a police officer. What about the third man?
Layton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Maybe it was a setup.
Soon, young man.
He saw a silhouette of a man. He didn't see the man. He saw a silhouette of the third man. The third man could have been a cloth, faked to look like a human, or something that's faked to look like a human to lure someone in there and take the blame for the murder, because that way the case would be closed. So that is what I suspect right now, that there is, in fact, the person who committed the crime were long gone. And that wasn't actually the person who committed it. But I guess we'll see later on if that is indeed the case. And then we shall enact our own crime and punishment against the real culprit. Oh, that's the wrong way. Sorry, Watson. I went the wrong way there. Hello, good people of... Where am I now? London? I forgot where I am. Whitechapel? Okay, let's take a look here. So that must be where it happened. Well. Yeah, we have the victims.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Mara. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
Yeah, well, what about the victims? What do you know about them?
Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stout fellow was Brian Vacotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
That's a bit of a weird combination. What about witnesses then?
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who is over at the far side of the street.
What about the testimony then?
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street.
A woman's cries?
I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
What about the shots? You didn't hear those at all?
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything
But you
else.
heard a woman scream. That makes no sense. What about fireworks then?
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Oh,
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course.
what about the details then, huh?
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
What about Mr. Turner's window?
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
So what if he lowered the
Constable,
clothes?
Your statements have been of great value to me.
Okay, well, Watson, we're gonna have to end this video right here. So I hope you guys, I'm gonna have to end this video right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Hope to see you in the next one. And as always, stay awesome.